So as in our previous video, we have seen how to set up a proxy using Ansible. So we'll be seeing our load balancer, how its working functionality using the IP. So for security reasons, it's not good. We'll be turning off the firewall for a few seconds. So once the firewall is turned off, you can go to your respective browser and type the particular IP address of your VM. So we have configured it on 8082 port number. So we have just configured our HA proxy server, but we have not given any backend server. So let's see what will be the outcome. So as we could expect, there is no service available at this port because we haven't given any kind of a backend servers for HA proxy server. So no use of even if we refresh. So now we'll be seeing in this video how to provide a backend, one of a backend server to our HA proxy server. So we shall go over and configure it. So to do that, we need to go inside our ip.txt file. So I'll be doing it for a minute. I'll be pausing my video because I'll be sharing my password over there. So we could see over here a name of host where we saw earlier in our playbook LB and website. LB refers to the load balancer and website is to the backend server which will be connecting to the load balancer. Earlier we run our playbook against the load balancer. So now I will be commenting it as I will be running our load balancer against my website in configuring. So you could see over here I haven't given Ansible SSH password where you have to give your password. Unless until you don't give your password, your playbook or Ansible will not take any action. It will throw you an error. So as I'm recording the video, I will be not be sharing password. I'll pause the video and I'll be giving a password. So for this, you need another VM for your backend to run. So I'll be starting another VM. So from here we'll be getting our IP. It takes a minute to boot up. So here we'll be configuring this VM, a minimal V1 as our backend web server. So we'll be getting using the IP address using command ifconfig. So our IP is 143.148. So we'll be running our playbook against that particular VM or that particular IP. So I will be uncommenting it. So now we'll be running our playbook against this particular VM. So I'll be pausing a minute and I'll provide a password and later we'll continue. So once I have saved vim ip.txt file as I've given the remote IP which I want to configure it as a web server. So we'll be going over here and running the playbook against the same web server, but this time we'll be not configuring load balancer, we'll be configuring a web server, backend web server. So you could see everything was successful and web server has been started. So now when we go over our load balancer which we have set up previously over here, so if we refresh over here, it should show something as we have connected a web server with the load balancer. So we shall see by refreshing it. So no service is available. Why? Because it's due to some security reasons. So we need to shut down or stop a firewall. It's not good for security reason, but for just video purpose, I will be doing it. So now we shall see. So you could see over here, successfully a web server is connected to a load balancer from backend, and load balancer is accepting a request on our behalf on 8082 port number. So we'll be doing it for another um, load balancer using the same technique. So we'll be going over here. So I will be stopping this VM as due to the CPU issues. So the same configuring will be done on the other VM or backend web server. So we'll be doing it. So I'll be shutting down this VM and switching on another VM. So this is another backend server minimal V2. So we'll be connecting this to our RHEL8, a load balancer. So now we'll be starting our HTML HTTPD services. So we'll be disabling firewall. So once we have done disabling the firewall, now again if we go to our load balancer port number and ask whether it has been configured with another web server. So if we refresh it, we could see web server 2 and web server 1. See, it's quite interesting over here. Now, every time I refresh it, we'll be getting a welcome to Ansible version 1 or version 2. Why? Because it's we have provided our load balancer with two of the backend servers, and two of the backend servers is provided with different web pages. In the real scenario, it's not like we'll be providing a single web page, or let's consider a Google website. They'll be providing whoever browses the Google website, they'll get the same content or the same search result over there. So to differentiate whether it's doing a load balance or not, I've provided it as a welcome to answer version 1 and version 2. But in the real sense, a single web page will be handling huge amount of requests on behalf of load balancer. So here we could see it's successfully getting load balanced whenever a different person request into a web page. So this is what a load balancer is all about, and we have done configuration using a load balancer called as haproxy. Here load balancer is RHEL8 and backend servers are minimal V1, minimal V2. So thank you.